President Xi told you that China would not give or sell Iran any weapons. And there's a new report that Iran's about to get 400 rocket launchers from China going through Pakistan to Iran.
Well, that would be surprising.
A few moments later.
Iran is expected to receive its first shipment of Chinese-made shoulder-launched air defense missile systems within weeks.
The president stuttered and stammered as he was asked a question regarding China's involvement in the Iran war. See, I thought I remember the president saying the other day that he spoke with the Chinese leader and was reassured that this wouldn't happen.
Launchers from China going through Pakistan to Iran.
Well, that would be surprising. I mean, things like that happen. But that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake. And he knows I'd be quite disappointed. Yeah, but and he's coming here, I think, on September 24th.
You see, Donald Trump has spent months insisting that his personal relationships with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping would prevent the Iran war from expanding. But then again, he also has insisted that the war was coming to an end and that Iran wanted to make a deal, then another deal, then many deals.
They want to make a deal. And they want to make a deal so badly. They want to make a deal so badly. I do see a deal in Iran. It's looking very good that we're going to make a deal. This process should go very quickly. We're going to end that war very quickly. We're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal. And they want to make the deal a lot more than I do. We have our deal done with Iran, and it should be successful. We're making an amazing deal with Iran. They want to make a deal with us very badly. They're dying to make a deal. They're giving us a lot. They want to make a deal so badly.
So I guess this shouldn't come as a surprise. Reuters have reported that China are agreeing a deal to sell weapons to Iran. And this after Trump wrote that China would, quote, not under any circumstances give or sell weapons to Iran, and that the promise included Chinese companies. But as Reuters reported, Iran is expected to receive within weeks its first shipment from a deal involving up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launchers. Resources familiar with the agreement said that the weapons are intended to help Iran rebuild its defenses while it remains at war with the United States, which is a fairly awkward development for Donald Trump, right? Because when he was asked about the reported deal, he expressed surprise and skepticism.
Do you want the House to come back before August 31st to act on the Russia and Iran sanctions bill after?
Well, if it's necessary, I mean, it shouldn't be necessary to be honest, but if it's necessary, I'd like to, are you talking about the Lindsey Graham?
Yeah.
So I'd like them to add Iran as tariffs, not just as sanctions. I think it's important. That's what Lindsey wanted, because I heard that they have tariffs on Russia, but not on those 5 countries with having to do with Iran. I'd like to see tariffs on Iran. It would make it much stronger. So perhaps you're very good at this. You can maybe tell them. I think they should put in for Russia, but I think they should put in for Iran. And that's really what Lindsey wanted. Yep.
And on Iran, one more, sir, sorry.
And good job at the dinner the other night.
Thank you.
Did a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
On what scenario do you see Iran attacking U.S. installations and personnel overseas and you withdrawing? Or
I don't see that. No, we're not. No, we're gonna hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
And this is not the first time that this pattern has emerged during the Iran war. Only just days ago, Zelensky had alleged that Russia had been conducting satellite surveillance of American military installations in the Gulf and sharing relevant imagery with Iran. Zelensky had said that Ukrainian intelligence had documented Russian monitoring of Gulf countries and US bases and promised to provide the material directly to Washington.
President Zelensky says that Russia is giving Iran satellite imagery of U.S. bases in the Gulf to help them target. What can you do about that?
Well, we'll find out if that's true. I'll ask Putin about it. We'll find out. Hasn't had much impact because we've knocked the hell out of it. What do you think? If that's the case, look, you know, they gave Venezuela a lot of equipment. Venezuela had all Russian equipment. How did that work out? Not too good. So they may be giving, but if they are, it hasn't worked out because they have no army, they have no air force. They have no Navy, they have no nothing. So it hasn't worked out well. I don't think they've been doing it, certainly not at a high level. And if they have, it has been very unimpactful.
And while many could downplay this as Zelensky trying to ensure that he gets continued support from the US, this is something that American intelligence officials were already examining, whether Russia may have helped Iran with targeting or drone technology after unusually precise attacks on sensitive American facilities. And again, when the president was asked about this, he just dismissed it, claiming in his own way, no, not my Putin. He'd never.
Well, I don't think they've been doing it, certainly not at a high level.
But that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake.
Deja vu, right? It appears Trump believes that because he speaks warmly about Putin or praises Xi, that they become personally invested in protecting him from embarrassment. But it appears that couldn't be further from the truth as this war continues to grow arms and legs. See, on the same day that Trump was presented this information regarding Russia, Ukraine and Iran were also at odds over an attack on an Iranian vessel that was allegedly transporting weapons.
As diplomatic efforts appear to ramp up between the US and Iran, Tehran is now embroiled in another conflict. In a stunning development, Iran claims Ukraine attacked one of its vessels in the Caspian Sea over the weekend. Now, Ukraine's president says drones targeted several ships which were transporting military cargo from Iran to Russia. That's the story out of Ukraine. Iran says at least one person was killed and 3 injured and is now threatening Ukraine.
When news like this breaks, right, it only further reiterates the confusion surrounding this war and how unreliable of a narrator Donald Trump is. That's why the majority of Americans believe that he's woefully mismanaged this conflict and are desperate for it to end.
This war has been it's been taxing on everyone, and I'm on a fixed income, and so it's other ones that on fixed income are really feeling it.
If you could talk directly to the president, we know he likes to watch TV. What would you tell him about this war?
President Trump, you shouldn't have got us in this war and was going to end it fast, soon, and now you're starting all over again.
Has the war helped your life at all?
No. For one thing, it causes me angst, makes me angry. And as I said, I'm very disillusioned. My entire family is disillusioned. And we are and were Trump supporters, but this is, to me, he's drawn a line in the sand. And that's how I feel. That's how we all feel.
Hell, even Fox News viewers have turned on him in droves.
You look at our polls and you look at the condition of the economy, and this is the one for midterms we look at closely, and that is excellent or good, 24%, only fair or poor, 76%. And that has got to have Republicans, Senate and House, concerned.
Oh, absolutely, Brett. And the truth is there's not much good news for Republicans in this whole poll we did. Underwater on the economy, as you showed, underwater on affordability. Those two issues are front and center for sure. Republicans have a little bit of a lead on national security and, I guess, law enforcement, but everywhere you look, Republicans are down. Now, there is some bit of good news. As you mentioned, the redistricting will help them with seats in the House, and they will probably need every one of them they can get from that.
Poll approval rating now stands at just 34%, and that matches his career low following the January 6th insurrection.
This news comes as Iran continues launching attacks against American forces. On Tuesday night, Iran fired ballistic missiles at US personnel in Jordan, and the United States said that the missiles were intercepted, but the president, he promised forceful retaliation and said that the United States would, quote, hit Iran hard, before sharing a few more expletives on Fox News. So if China are reportedly preparing to help strengthen the defenses of a country that is currently attacking American troops, How is the president going to respond to that? I mean, that's not staying out of the war in any meaningful sense. So if Trump is claiming this is a surprise, I think he needs to determine which explanation is true. You see, while the president has offered assurances to the American people that China and Russia would stay out of this conflict, more and more questions continue to come up whether they were telling the president the truth or just telling him what he wanted to hear.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.